What's a good word, It's your boy DKB here. So I wanted to talk about CJ Mosley and kind of his mindset that he's had since joining this New York Jets team. He's taken a lot of backhanded compliments for not being able to stay on the field, losing a step, not being the same dominant force he was with the Baltimore Ravens. But to be honest, he was exactly the person. I won't even leave it at talent. He was the exact person that we needed infused into this defense and this organization in order to make sure that we could get to this point that we're at now, right? If there's not a CJ Mosley, I would strongly argue that we were careening as an entire franchise. We'd have minimal defensive talent, we'd have minimal offensive talent, and I don't know if we'd ever see a Joe Douglas come on board or necessarily a Robert Saleh and a lot of these acquisitions that we've gotten via those two men. So big commitments to CJ Mosley. When you think about when he came on, we've seen sneak peeks of very elite performances, and then right after or in the midst of that, we've seen injuries that have wiped away entire seasons for him. So he's been able to come out and prevail, right? You think about him being an MVP on this team, especially defense, of course, since he plays that. You think about the fact that he's been able to pair up with Quincy Williams to become one of the few duos to both rack up over 100 tackles. And then, of course, just this mindset. And I think that is huge for this team because for the longest, it seems like we've been playing outside of our sphere of comfort, right? We've been trying to like almost like a little man syndrome, if you will. You know, we see a bigger person and we automatically start getting a little bit more ferocious and all of these kind of things. We haven't had the talent to back that up whatsoever. Some of our best wins that we love to relive have come off of very scrappy performances, and we made a living off of our defense. You think about even going back to the Super Bowl, we had the sack exchange to help out Joe Namath. You think about Antonio Cromartie, Darrell Revis, I think Kyle Wilson being that trio there, Sheldon Richardson, I think about Muhammad Wilkerson, Leonard Williams. I think we had the Sons of Anarchy, we dubbed the defensive line at the time. So we've always had something that has kind of tied this team together, and it's generally always been on the defensive side. CJ Mosley is really just continuing that trend, but I really wanted to talk more so about when he came onto this team, we were a bottom feeding franchise. And even then, he said that he knew that this team would be Super Bowl bound one day. He plans to be a big part of seeing this team, make those dreams come to fruition. And with Aaron Rodgers coming into town and the expectations, we're having a multiple time MVP and Super Bowl winning quarterback. This is going to be his best window since he's been a Baltimore Raven. To try to go out and earn himself a franchise Super Bowl ring with this franchise, and to me it'd be well deserved. Again, I think he's been kind of criminally abused for quite a while, but he's arguably been the glue that's held this team together. When we were losing Jamal Adams and seeing how that was bringing down the franchise and some of the other talents, and you think about the support cast that he had around him for the longest, he's never publicly shot us in the foot or down this team, the coaching staff, or front office for what he's done. So let's dive into some of the comments that he had. When I signed here, that's my goal and expectation. He's referring to a Super Bowl. I'm happy to hear him say that, referring to Aaron Rodgers. I'm happy for more people to be talking about it because that's why we're here. I've been on this team long enough that y'all have heard me say this plenty of times. We're here to win. We're here to win championships, and we're here to be a great team for a long time. So with him being here, that just gives our opportunity a little bit more. It just goes up a little bit more. Nothing's going to happen. Nobody's going to give anything to us, but to understand this small window, this opportunity that we have with the generational quarterback that we have right now. And again, referring to Aaron Rodgers there, obviously a lot of things have changed. One of the biggest pieces that I love is the entire coaching staff mentioning how Aaron Rodgers is involved in all of these different meeting rooms, but even on the defensive side, he's going back and forth with not only the coaches but the players about what it is he saw, why he's targeting his team, how's he attacking our defense. And we've oversold our defense sometimes, going against the likes of a Zach Wilson, a Sam Darnold, Mark Sanchez back in the day, Ryan Fitzpatrick, all of these guys that at best with what we've seen in their capacity has been average. So we've kind of oversold some of these performances, and what we hear with us, consuming, off-season information, OTA updates, and all these kind of things. This gives you a legit shot to understand where your defense should be at in terms of being elite in the NFL, being a hindrance to your team, etc. CJ Mosley did go on to say regarding Aaron Rodgers, it's a different vibe. He sets the bar, he sets the expectation with his resume, with his name, and the way he approaches the game every single day. Just speaking as a linebacker in the defense, it's not every day you get a chance to go against a future Hall of Fame quarterback, and you get to test your skills, your knowledge, and your ability every single day. So as a defensive player, we're honored and obviously really blessed just to be in this situation to try to grow as a better defense and as a team. I won't go into all his excerpts because it is quite long, but I'll link it in the description. But again, overall, I think I just kind of wanted to take a moment to give him his flowers, because the same way we get that feeling in the pit of our stomachs, and I kind of mentioned this during one of Green Bean's Thursday Thick of It's podcast, we have this sixth sense to always identify when our team may lose, whether we're ahead, it's a lose, we're already in a loss, it's a draw, no matter what. We kind of get this shift in energy in the universe, and we can tell things aren't going to go in our favor. I'm getting that same thing, but in a positive fashion. I actually legitimately feel like we could be seeing our team in the Super Bowl this season, and we could walk away with a win. And this is purely based off of what our defense has done and inserting Aaron Rodgers on the offensive side. So I just kind of want to give CJ Mosley his flowers for sticking in there. He's one of the few guys that have not only joined this franchise, he almost, to me, kind of feels like a homegrown talent in a way. I know we kind of missed 2 years with him due to injury, but he's been such a positive influence. I can understand why he's been a team MVP. I can understand why he's been one of the best middle linebackers in the league. And just seeing what he's done for this franchise, not only within the community and the fan base, but, for his, brothers in arms that he's taken the field with, has really been outstanding. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Super Bowl expectations, and CJ Mosley being in that picture. And I'll catch you guys again. Peace.